This is a YouTube channel dedicated to legacy, intergenerational impact, and living a life of purpose. But what exactly is a legacy? In this video, I'm going to break down this concept a bit more specifically. The word legacy is used in a number of ways. One way that the word legacy has traditionally been used is it refers to the amount of money that someone leaves behind for their offspring. You might have also heard the word legacy being used to refer to a college student who goes to a university that their parent also went to. But on this channel, when we talk about legacy, we're referring to the way that a person is remembered for the impact they have made in the lives of others after they have passed away. Most of the time, this is talking about after a person dies, although that's not always the case. For example, musicians, athletes, and other professionals can leave a legacy in their career even though they're still alive, right? This person has simply passed away or passed on through their retirement in their career field. So these are some exceptions where a person can leave a legacy and still be alive. However, most of the time when we talk about legacy on this channel and when people talk about leaving a legacy in general, they're typically referring to how a person is remembered after they have died. It's the enduring reputation that they have created based on the things and activities and the impact that they made in people's lives while they were alive. Essentially, a person's legacy is the story of their life and how they made an impact on the world while they were here. When many people think about the word legacy, what initially comes to their mind is they start to think about cultural icons and historical figures and all of the big things they did when they were alive. And sure, those are examples of legacies that have been left in history. However, this is not the only way that legacy manifests itself. There are other ways that a person can leave a legacy in their life. One of the ways that most people leave a legacy is through their family. We all have a family history. We have a genealogy and a family tree that we can trace back many generations. This family tree, this genealogy, has a number of rich stories of people who came before us, people who had our last name long before we existed, and paved the way for our own lives that we have today. When you think about the impact that your parents, your grandparents, or even your great-grandparents had on your life, that is a part of their enduring legacy. After these people pass away, the wisdom and the guidance that they provided you while they were alive is going to stay with you. And you very well may pass that down to your own kids and your own grandkids. And so part of their legacy survives in that way. And if you have a family yourself, part of your legacy is going to be what you left in their lives. This intergenerational connection that we build within our families is an important part to living a meaningful life. Another way that people leave a legacy is by ensuring that they pass down their values to future generations. We can pass these values down in our families, but we can also pass these values down in the world by supporting a certain cause, taking part in activism, and the beliefs that we share with the world in our life. Everyone has a way of viewing the world, things that they believe, things that they think are important. And many people try to leave a legacy by ensuring that these values, these beliefs will live on long after they have left the world. Many people believe that the world will be a better place if their values survive them and continue to flourish into the future generations. Other people might try to leave a legacy through the impact they have in their community. This can be accomplished through volunteering, charity, or even taking part in something like local government. It's important to note that those community social activities are not inherently leaving a legacy. It becomes leaving a legacy when a person is remembered by the next generation for the impact they had in their community. So as you can see, leaving a legacy is not just something that cultural icons do. It's something that everyone can do in their own way. Everyone can leave a legacy in their family. Everyone can leave a legacy in their community, and everybody can work to ensure that their values, beliefs, and principles are passed down to the next generation. While everybody can leave a legacy in those ways, another way that people can leave legacies is through their creative activities or through their career. Now, this can take many forms, like an entrepreneur who creates a business that they hope will endure and last long after they are gone, or an author who writes a book or a novel that they hope people will read many years after they have passed away. An inventor may create something that they hope is used by people and valued by people many years after they've died. And a scientist might work hard to make some kind of discovery that will have a lasting impact in the world. The legacies that people leave behind are a crucial part to many cultures, including its art, literature, science, technology, business, and many other fields. There are also connections and similarities between legacy and heritage. Heritage is what is passed down to us from past generations, and legacy is what we are trying to leave behind to future generations. Granted, these concepts overlap significantly because what one person receives as a heritage is really the legacy that other people passed down. It's important to recognize that legacy is an intergenerational chain. People from the past inspire us with the legacies that they have left. These legacies that are left behind for us inspire us to create and make our own mark on the world while we are alive. And once we have done these things in the present for ourselves, we then pass them down to the future generation so that they can be inspired by what we've done. Now, there's some people that I've talked to about legacy, and I think that they have the wrong idea of what legacy is, or they at least have a lopsided view of what legacy is. Some people perceive legacy as being an egotistical, self-absorbed endeavor. Only a self-centered person would care about this and would make leaving a legacy their goal. Indeed, if you know someone who actually wants to leave a legacy and all they think about is me, in regard to the kind of legacy that they're going to leave behind, sure, this is a lopsided way of approaching legacy. Legacy, properly understood, is all about what we do, how we are remembered for it based on the impact it made in the lives of others. And so legacy is not just this selfish thing about like, I want to be remembered, I'm so important, the world needs me, what would the world be without me? It's simply realizing that each of us makes a contribution to the world and that contribution can be shared with others and can help other people in their lives. This is a balance between what psychologists call agentic goals and communal goals. Agentic goals are the desire for us to see ourselves respected and admired for the work that we've done. Maybe someone might like if there was a statue built of them, or if their name was on a building, or if their product or their service or their business survived many years after they were gone. On the other hand, communal goals are based on the impact that we have made in other people's lives in terms of helping them, giving to charity, being of service to our community to help better the lives of other people. Any legacy that does not incorporate agentic goals and communal goals is going to be a lopsided endeavor. If a person only wants to be admired and they're not thinking about how they can help other people with the work they do in their life, they're going to have a difficult time leaving a legacy. On the other hand, if somebody helps other people and improves other people's lives, but nobody can tie it back to that person and we can't remember who that person was, they're not going to leave a legacy either, because ultimately no one will know who they were and they won't be able to get the credit for the things that they did in their life. This combination of agentic and communal goals is important for the endeavor of leaving a legacy. You need both of them. So legacy, properly understood, is not a selfish endeavor. It's about being remembered for the influence you had in the lives of other people, how you helped them, how you inspired them, and how you helped create a better world, not for yourself and not just for your family, but for the world in general. We are currently living at a time in history where intergenerational thinking is arguably more important than ever. With the rise of artificial intelligence, we are living at a time where the development of this technology is going to significantly impact the way the world works. And we need to think about how this is going to influence future generations and the world that they live in. It's also important for us to study history and learn lessons from the past about how humans adapted to technologies in the past so that we can best adapt to this technology in the present and in the future. Intergenerational thinking is also fundamental to how humans tackle the issue of climate change. Concern for future generations is a huge reason why people are inspired to act to address the issue of climate change. Research shows that concern for the next generation was the dominant reason for action on climate change, 12 times more popular than creating jobs. So it's important that we as humans continue to take an intergenerational perspective when we think about the world that we are living in and the lives that we live in the present. Legacy is also important in aiding humans in grappling with many of the existential questions that we deal with in our lives. The truth is that each and every single one of us is going to die at some point. I know you probably don't want to think about that. It's kind of a bummer, but it's true. And the fact is, we never know when we're going to die. It could be decades from now, or it could be tomorrow. What we do know is that if we want to make our mark on the world with the life that we have, we need to start today. And the way that we do that is by living the legacy that we want to leave every single day. We don't just view tomorrow and the next day as random days that can be spent in whatever manner. We realize that each day is a stepping stone to the legacy that we are going to eventually leave and the mark that we are going to make in the lives of other people and the mark we're going to make in the world. Your legacy is what this channel is all about. And my goal for this channel is to help people think about who they are, what they want their legacy to be, and how they can go about making that legacy a reality. I hope you liked this video. If you liked this video, make sure that you give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment telling us what you want your legacy to be and what kind of impact you want to make in the world. Also, feel free to leave a comment talking about someone who has inspired you with their own legacy in your life. And last but not least, if you liked this video, make sure that you subscribe to this channel so that you can get a lot more of the content that we're going to be creating in the future. Thanks, everybody, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.